I'm sure you have a particular image in your head about how an ideal woman should look, how she should come across, how smart she should be, how physically fit she should be. In this video, I'm gonna go over a couple of practices, a couple of guidelines, what I'm doing in order to achieve that dream. So one of the things that I'm doing is I am actually accepting the fact that I am going to be failing at certain projects. You cannot be doing good in all areas in your life. It's virtually impossible. So it's time you give yourself a break and actually look realistically at the picture and understand that if you are doing good in one project, that means you are kind of neglecting another project. You will not be able to succeed at everything. Accept it. I accepted it. It made me that much better, and I'm sure it's gonna help you. It's not about feeling better. It's about getting better at feeling. When you learn to identify what triggers you, what makes you emotional, what makes you step back, you are gonna learn how to control all of those areas. So what I mean is, when you know how to react to a certain situation, when you're teaching yourself that not every action requires a reaction, you are going to be that much more collected, that much more calm. You're gonna come across as a person who has the situation under control. Learn how to set boundaries. It really did help me, not by being a rude woman, not by being a rude person. I have boundaries even with my toddlers. I have a video, I'm gonna link it here, how I actually did it. I urge you to watch it. Remember, if an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends. But if it's broken by an inside force, life begins. So great things always begin from the inside. So the work needs to start from yourself. Let go of the clothes that dress the person you are no longer are. Those clothes have a particular energy. So if you pull out something from your closet and it reminds you of something that happened in the past and it makes you frown as opposed to make you smile, get rid of all of that. You don't need negativity in your life. Achieve a better state of mind, better physical state. We should really get rid of things that don't make us happy around us. The right things don't often have to be chased, but rather pursued. And you can be an admirer rather than a hunter. You can be good at something without being excellent at it. Practice detachment. One of the really good things that I did in the last couple of years. Once you get better at letting go, once you can move on to the next step, it's gonna become a practice for you. So you won't think of it, it's gonna be a part of your personality. So every time you feel like someone is overstepping, someone is getting into your personal space, and you know that you need to make a step back, and you kind of feel that you're gonna miss that person, you're gonna miss that hobby, or you're gonna miss that particular situation. Not necessarily. If you practice detachment and you teach yourself that your mental health, your physical health, and you come as a priority, it's gonna come out that much easier for you to detach yourself from anyone. You don't have to be a fine artist to pursue what you love. You can be a good amateur. Your hobby doesn't need to take over your life. So anything you do on the side and anything you're trying to, learn, it doesn't have to be something that overwhelms you. A hobby is meant to make you happy, to make you bubbly, to kind of bring certain variety in your life. Consistency outpaces talent. So if you like something, you need to be consistent at it. You can be good at skiing, and if you want to be good at it, you need to be consistent, just like any kind of hobby I was talking to you about before. Another thing that you should really practice is stop thinking that people actually have a negative opinion about you. You are judging yourself way more than anyone else on the outside, because no one knows you as much as you do know yourself. So to assume that people automatically think negatively about you, that's very presumptuous. No one thinks about you in general. And if you gave them a reason to think negatively, that would be the only time when someone would actually stop in their shoes and think, oh, let me think negatively about this person or that person. No one has the time, and no one actually is doing it. So get it over and get it out of your system. Stop making long-term assessment based on short-term experiences. It's like declaring I'm never gonna find love just because I went through a breakup. I went through a lot of things, and I still truly believe in love, just because I know that if I managed to love someone in my life as deeply as I did before, that means that love is within me, so I can actually love again. Not anytime soon, but in general. Remember, if you're feeling lost right now, this moment is not your life. This is a moment in your life. So don't make a justification for being in a bad mood just because you're wearing an outfit that you don't like. Or maybe you got an email that you don't quite agree with. Or maybe you had an argument with your child. it's kind of having like a snobbery opinion about a person. This is how you're being a snob when it comes to yourself. So don't make an overall adjustment or an overall opinion about your day if something went wrong in the morning. That's just a moment in your day. That's not your whole day. Another thing that I really do practice is I stopped trying to prove myself to anyone. You know, success is usually self-evident. So if you are good at something, you are being successful at something, then you don't need to prove it to anyone else. It's gonna be visible. You are gonna grow as a person. So stop proving yourself. I stopped believing that negative potential outcomes are more likely than the positive ones. This is because of negative bias. You know, we think that the bad things are more likely to happen. It's not a wrong approach because, you know, I'm sure by the time you're almost 40, you went through your share of bad experiences. Overall, everything works out in the end. If it didn't work out, it's not the end. So always look at the positive outcomes of any situation, because truth be told, you do not know what's gonna happen in the end and how that situation is gonna unfold itself. And by being negative, you bring that negative energy and your thoughts materialize. So you should be really careful what you think about. Make healthy habits a part of your identity. It shouldn't be a habit. In the end, it should be a part of your identity if you are being consistent. You know, you shouldn't be perceived as a person that has healthy habits. You should be perceived as a person who is healthy. Just a couple of practices that I do for myself is I always make sure I stay physically active no matter the time of the day, even if it's a small stretch. I always make sure I have at least one healthy meal a day. I always make sure that I drink plenty of water, which everyone knows. So these little things, I know they are very straight up and straightforward, but so many of us are actually failing at doing it as a part of our identity. These little things shouldn't be a habit. It should be who you are. This is about it. I'm sure there's plenty of things that I would want to share with you. I'll make sure to make another video on this topic. But for now, these are the practices. This is what I follow on day-to-day basis to make sure that I do reach that potential and I do become the woman of my dream. Because just like any one of you, I have that idea in my head on how I am supposed to be. I'm not looking for perfection. No one is perfect, but it's always good to strive for better. Thank you for following. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.